Hi guys, today is the anniversary episode of Esports Transfers, so we wanted to thank you all for the love and support you've been giving us. As is tradition on this show, we evaluate players in 5 main parameters: leadership, marketability, consistency, skills, and demand. Considering that today is a Jubilee episode, next time we will recalculate the transfer values of previous participants because parameters and prices of many have already changed.
You don't want to squab, you don't really want to mob, you don't want to know this price when it comes to the ball. You ain't never tried, you ain't never blind to survive over time with the best.
Today's Esports Transfers hero is really special. First of all, we dedicated this episode to FalleN's birthday, which was a few days ago. Secondly, it was you guys who were constantly asking for an episode with this legendary guy, and you know what, we listened. So we present to your attention Gabriel FalleN Toledo. He is without a doubt one of the best Counter-Strike players ever, and we can't wait to tell you about his early life. But first, we will reveal his transfer value, which was calculated using complex mathematical formulas. And so we came to the conclusion that right now the Brazilian sniper of Team Liquid is worth $1,550,000. Well now, using the secret Esports Transfers time machine, we will return to the hot May of 1991 in Sao Paulo. Gabriel FalleN Toledo was born on May 30th, 1991 and grew up near Sao Paulo in Brazil. Here, we usually talk about how a player grew up and how he started playing games, but since today's episode is special, let Gabriel tell you about his childhood himself.
I grew up around Sao Paulo, Brazil. When I was young, my older brother was playing a lot of games, and I was watching with a chair at his side, and he was teaching me. After some years, I started a routine like going to school in mornings. In afternoons, I helped my moms and dad work, fixing computers, installing programs. And at nights, I used to play. That was my hobby. When it changed from just hobby to being professional, it was in 2009 when FNX and my old teammates, they invited me to Fire Gamers. And I remember beating my BR, winning, giving me the confidence I needed, believe in myself. And after that, I was a different person.
And he really did become a different person because there are very few people on the entire planet who raised the major trophy over their heads, not once, but twice. Though in order to achieve this, he went to hell and back. At the age of 14, FalleN and his first team Crashers were already competing in Brazilian 1.6 tournaments and World Cyber Games events. A few years later, he joined aforementioned Fire Gamers, where he became acquainted with FNX and NAC, and in following years, his career was closely connected with these two. It was then that FalleN's reputation began to spread rapidly outside of Brazil, thanks to his impressive individual performances at ESWC and WCG events. He was so good with the AWP that they even started to compare him with the best Brazilian sniper at the time, Kogu from MIBR. Gabriel's passion for the game was so strong that he even began to conduct online Counter-Strike lessons and spent the proceeds on the creation of the Games Academy project in January 2012. Despite the tough times in Counter-Strike Source, FalleN's career quickly regained the momentum once he switched to CSGO. In April of 2014, he became one of the founding members of Kaboom Esports. In that lineup, Gabriel reunited with FNX and also invited Fur and the twins Henny and Lucas, who we talked about in one of the episodes. Unfortunately, their first ESWC 2014 didn't go well as they placed last. After the forced replacements, Kaboom went to the MLG Aspen Invitational and to many people's surprise defeated the strong lineup of Cloud9. That result and subsequent ones brought FalleN a much-wanted invitation to ESL1 Katowice 2015, though there was one problem: money. FalleN's team simply could not afford a trip to Poland to play qualifiers for the major. Fortunately, the guys decided to publicly talk about it, and many caring people began to donate to them. It was ESCA, Flusher from Fnatic, and of course fans who helped Kaboom to fulfill their dream. They were also helped by the new sponsor Keystars, whose tag they played under at the major. And in Katowice, Gabriel and his team surpassed all expectations, finishing the tournament in the quarterfinals against the formidable Bears of Virtus Pro.
Make his way through the smoke. There's just no way into that site for them. And he does connect with his first hit, and the second. Taz will go down. CQK pushes towards Pasha. FalleN has fallen, and so has Keen. Virtus Pro have destroyed Keen on map 3.
it's just a start for them. I know that they were happy with the score already, like with the quarterfinals, but maybe next year or next event we can see more of them.
So a big round of applause please for Keed.
Considering the weaker level of the Brazilian CSGO scene, FalleN and the team moved to California in the summer of 2015, where they were signed by Luminosity Gaming. It wasn't all sunshine and roses for FalleN, as he went long periods without seeing his family. However, he knew his dream required sacrifice and was ready for the challenge. After months of hard training, Luminosity finished second at DreamHack Leipzig and IEM World Championships in early 2016, which proved they had what it took to win a major title. Eventually, they became world champions at MLG Columbus Major in April of 2016. And then all of Brazil breathed a sigh of relief because FalleN had done it. After 10 years since his first tournament, he finally became world champion. After difficult and muddy negotiations, Luminosity's roster was bought out by the German organization SK Gaming. Under their colors, FalleN, Fur, FNX Taco, and Cold Zero won ESL 1 Cologne 2016, which is still considered one of the most memorable majors in history.
Happen, SK Gaming, second major championship in a row. They are your winners.
After that triumph, SK led by FalleN won several huge LAN tournaments like ECS Season 3, Epicenter 2017, and ESL Pro League Season 6, and others. In June 2018, Gabriel became part of MIBR, a Brazilian esports organization. There he spent 2 difficult years, experimented with international rosters, and tried to regain his former greatness. But unfortunately, FalleN didn't achieve great results with MIBR, except for a gold medal at the Zotac Cup Masters 2018 and a silver medal in the first season of Flashpoint. As a result, in September 2020, due to disappointing results, the MIBR management decided to cut players like Taco, Fur, and their manager dead. But Gabriel categorically disagreed with this decision, as many media spoke about. Even websites of the caliber of ESPN began writing articles in which FalleN said that the time will be necessary to find my essence and return the peace I need to decide my path. The only thing I'm sure is this isn't where the game ends for me. And he was right, because in January 2021, he was signed by one of the most successful organizations in the esports world, Team Liquid. We understand that FalleN and Liquid are still adapting and evolving as a unit, but we are sure that under the guidance of such a mastermind as Gabriel, they will certainly become champions many times. Well, now that we know more about him, let's see why FalleN is worth $1,550,000. Leadership. In recent years, FalleN's individual achievements have been going through some hard times, because in the last 3 years, he has never made it into the top 20 players in the world, according to HLTV. Despite this, in 2016 and 2017, he was 2nd and 6th respectively, which no doubt proves how good he can be. Gabriel is an elite S-tier player, who has repeatedly made hundreds of thousands of fans scream with delight when they saw his highlights. Just like here against FaZe Kyle.
Gets them off, and I think Ali may just go for the stick on this. FalleN's going to try and walk back in as they both get close enough range. Considering upper has Alu go look low. Hits the diffuser. FalleN gets back. That is incredible. That might be the game in itself. An absolutely brilliant play from FalleN as he nails both shots. It's on to Nico, and he goes to the off for desperation, but Phelps has had enough, and SK win it. That is all FalleN. That is incredible that he goes beyond the threat and takes the diffuser.
At the moment, Liquid cannot boast of overly stable results, but nevertheless, for 3 months under the leadership of FalleN, they have never dropped out of the top 10 teams in the world. For the first time in 10 episodes, we say with confidence that our hero is a true born leader. The teams in which FalleN played many times climbed to the top of the Counter-Strike rankings and stayed there for a long time. And perhaps, with the return of LANs, Liquid will have the same fate. The top 1 of the world status and the 3rd major trophy. Until then, enjoy another clip of Papa FalleN taking over the game.
Consegue levar o Fênix, o FalleN nas costas do Stewie. O problema é o tempo, brincou ali com o boneco, o Nothing conseguiu eliminar o Coldzera. Sobrando só o FalleN contra 2 jogadores, acho que é mais negócio guardar essa W. No bolso, põe no bolso ali o Scadano. Ele vai agora na Nilma pra tentar acertar aqueles tiros mentirosos que só ele acontece. Meu Deus do céu! Faz chover! Vai! A unha! Vai!
Que round do FalleN!
Eu falei, vida! Eu falei!
Tinha que partir pra cima, né, Guan? Se falou, exatamente!
In the end, we rated Gabriel's leadership at 90 out of 100, although I think we can all agree it could be higher. Moving on. Marketability. If we had to divide players into different tiers specifically in marketability parameter, then Simple would be the undisputed king, and the only contender who has a chance to become more media powerful than Sasha would be FalleN. So let's compare them. Gabriel's Twitch channel has 1.2 million followers and 103 hours of live streaming over the past 3 months. Simple has twice as many followers but has 30 hours less live time. On Twitter, the balance is on FalleN's side, because here he overtakes Simple in followers and in the number of posts and retweets because he has as many as 27.4 thousand of them. There is another clear advantage that FalleN has on his side, and that is his YouTube channel. He has almost 1.5 million subscribers there, so in this part of media activity, Gabriel is undoubtedly ahead of Sasha because the Ukrainian does not even have his own channel. On Instagram, Simple is again in the lead, and Gabriel could have a good chance to catch up with him if not for the growth rate of his social networks. For example, the Na'Vi Sniper has an average of 27,000 new followers on Instagram per month, while FalleN has only 700. On Twitch, the situation is also not very promising. 8,250 monthly followers against almost 35,000 new fans of Sasha each month. At Face It Pro League, FalleN and Simple did not determine a winner just yet, because they both often play in it, often stream it, and just as often delight fans with insane highlights.
One pushing short. One in low dark. One in low dark.
Guy under.
Other window.
Dead.
Go. Let's move. Nice, strong follow.
Thank you.
In conclusion, we want to say that the fact that we are comparing Gabriel with such a giant of the esports business as Simple shows how popular and in demand Gabriel is, which is why we rate his marketability at 98 points out of 100. Consistency. Throughout his career, FalleN has always had to be the one to control the team's atmosphere when the stakes are higher than ever. Considering that the teams under his leadership have become champions many times, he deserves all the compliments. But let's take a look at his individual consistency. Over the past 12 months, he has an underwhelming 1.04 solo rating and a 70.1% cast. The situation is no better against teams from the top 10, a 0.97 solo rating and 69% cast. We certainly take into account the fact that FalleN is the captain and sniper at the same time, which can negatively affect his personal game, but we still expect goosebumps from his highlights, just like it happened here.
To make a miracle occur, and you may be able to get the bomb planted. Not too bad, all things considered. Oh, and he lands the fast shot onto JW as well. That opens up the chance now. Waiting, gambling that both players come from the same side. And he is correct in that assumption. He's going to get a second. Surely not! FalleN! Oh my god, what a play! Out of nothing, he picks up a 1v3.
We also consider loyalty as an additional factor of consistency. At the age of 30, FalleN managed to play in 6 teams, and his loyalty has always been a role model since he never left his team in difficult times. On the contrary, he always fought to the end, even if no one believed in him and his teammates anymore. We also don't forget about physical health because it's still highly underestimated in esports. Fortunately, FalleN does not have serious health problems, although in a recent video from the studio at Blast, he admitted that he should have taken better care of it.
Nowadays, I suffer a little bit of back pain because of all the gaming hours I had in the past, and I didn't have the properly and most efficient way to sit during my gaming time. And nowadays, I kind of feel the result of that. I try to make some adjustments. I try to position myself better. And I think staying healthy and fit, as in any other sport competition, is going to help you achieve the best you can be on what you're trying to do. And there's no different in Counter-Strike.
It was not easy for us to calculate FalleN's consistency because he is weaker in the solo stats than many S-tier players, but his composure and intelligence brought him 2 gold cups at majors, so we rate his consistency at 91 points out of 100. Skills. At 30 years old, Papa FalleN plays 765 maps in LAN tournaments with a 1.06 solo rating and a 57.3% win rate. While at majors, he is also super experienced and super successful. 83 maps with a 1 solo rating on the dot and a 60% win rate. Let's summarize. Experience at playing LAN tournaments, 94. FalleN has a ton of experience playing in front of crowded stands, which is why this factor is at the highest level. 2016 was phenomenal for Gabriel as he won 2 majors in that year, MOG Columbus Major and ESL 1 Cologne. That's why we rated his minor/major performance at 98 out of 100. After watching many demos, Esports Transfers scouts rated FalleN's versatility and education at 77 and 92 points respectively. Eventually, we rated his skills with 90 points out of 100. On to the last one. Demand and mentions. FalleN's demand needs no introduction. Our hero is one of the most popular esports athletes on the planet. His sponsorship contracts are measured in hundreds of thousands of dollars, and the most famous brands want to partner with Gabriel. He is also friends with, Neymar Jr. and other Brazilian football stars, which has a positive effect on his recognition. Now, FalleN is a part of Team Liquid, and from a business point of view, this is an ideal move. Esports in Brazil is huge, and now hundreds of thousands of Brazilians are rooting for Liquid because their idol plays there. Moreover, Gabriel has his own brand called FalleN Group, with the development of which his mother and sister help him. He also has an online merch store, so the Brazilian is already set for life. By the way, did you know that FalleN has a split personality? Of course, we're talking about bad FalleN, the CSGO legend who terrorizes scrubs with his toxic persona. Well, if it's no joke, then FalleN is an excellent acquisition in all contexts. He is still a very good player and an experienced captain who is very attractive to the media due to his friendliness and good level of English. That is why we rated his demand and mentions at 99 points. At the end of the day, we would like to say that FalleN is a legend of the game that we all love so much, and he is one of the few old school players who still plays at the highest level. That's why we should enjoy every game of his career and appreciate him while he's still playing. On May the 30th, Gabriel turned 30 years old, so we sincerely congratulate him on his birthday, wish him happiness, health, love, and maybe some little FalleNs running around his house in a few years' time. And of course, we are waiting for him to return to LAN and major tournaments to see how Liquid will play under his leadership. That's it for today. Thanks for watching Esports Transfers, and don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.
They don't have good conditions to trade in Brazil. FalleN, FNX tá com Godzilla. Second place, all the dream.